I can't do it. I can't shoot the episode. I'm definitely not recovered from Thanksgiving. What? What do you mean, how much did I eat? People eat things on Thanksgiving?
Welcome to Ask the Meadmaker, where I, Ricky the Meadmaker, answer your questions about mead making, mead drinking, mead brewing, and really, any question you're willing to send to me. Our first question this week comes from Johnny. Johnny has written to us in the past, and he had a question about filling bottles from a keg. He has a keg that's about half empty, and he wants to use it for something else, so he thought, I will just fill some bottles off the tap. But everyone in his homebrew club said 3 feet of line isn't enough, the amount of tube between the keg and his tap. You have to have a much longer line, like 10 feet. And you want to know if there's science behind this. The answer is absolutely. The pressure of your beverage as it comes out of the faucet is a function of a lot of different things. From the temperature of the keg, to the pressure within the keg, to the pressure that's pushing behind the keg, and the resistance in the line. This is why your local homebrew shop sells 3/16-inch line, 1/4-inch line, and a variety of other sizes. The farther you have to go, the less resistance. The shorter the distance, the more resistance you need, or else you're just going to have a foamy mess when you go to fill your bottles. Last episode, a gentleman we called JF wrote to us about a rather embarrassing medical condition, not his own, and he apologized for it, sent us an email, and has publicly wished to apologize for having internet access while he's intoxicated. When we're giving tours here at the Meadery, I tell people every single step of the process, right down to the temperatures and pressures if they are interested. And one of the things that I get asked a lot is, why is our honey warmed to 102 degrees? Is there anything magical about that number? And the answer is no. And in fact, the honey in total is never warmed that high. We put the jackets on at 102 degrees to start warming it from the outside, but we only leave them for about 15 hours. Then, when they're poured into our mixing tank, the entire volume comes out to right about 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Is there something special about that number? Yes, it's the temperature inside a beehive. Hopefully, the more astute mediacs out there who are watching these videos on a big screen TV or on a projector or in a movie theater as God intended it, have noticed that in front of me is a mug. A new mug, the 2015 Winter Wassail mug, released this Friday alongside our winter warmer. Our last question this week comes from Derek, who is another, I believe, pro brewer and I assume mead maker, though perhaps not. Maybe you're a winemaker or a beer brewer. Anyway, what he wanted to know is if we've ever had a recipe rejected or sent back to us by the TTB for some ridiculous reason. Now, the TTB has to look over every single one of my recipes for reasons that aren't actually completely clear. Even if my recipe is just honey, water, and yeast, they need to look at it over the course of 3 to 6 months. But anyway, I had this recipe about a year ago for a spring release of ours, and they sent it back to me because they needed an ingredients list for one of my ingredients. And they said, so we need everything that's in green rooibos. And I said, green rooibos is just green rooibos. And they said, but we need your ingredient list. And I said, okay, the package says green rooibos, contents green rooibos. And they said, do you have like a packing list? And I sent them a PDF, and I guess that is the point at which they Googled green rooibos and realized it's a type of tea. That's my last question. I just need to send it to Ricky with our word of the week. Ricky? Thank you, Ricky! This week's word is tryptophan, another abused amino acid. Tryptophan, which does occur in turkeys, though not nearly in the quantity it does in eggs and a variety of grains, does not make you sleepy. Nor does cohumulone, which occurs in hops, or at least neither do so far as any study has ever been able to show. The reason you are sleepy after Thanksgiving is because you ate too much, you probably drank too much, and you've just spent at least 4 hours dealing with your relatives. tryptophan, cohumulone. They're both our words of the week. Keep sending me your questions, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Cheers.